So let's talk about the difference between being a solo tutor versus being a tutoring business owner with tutors who work for you. Solo tutoring involves working independently and offering your own services to your students. Whereas tutoring with a team differs in that it involves you establishing a business with others rather than alone. This might look like hiring tutors while you run the operational side of the business, which is the case for my private tutoring business, Lisa's Study Guides. Each of these business models have different factors, advantages, and disadvantages, and one might be more appropriate for where you're currently at in your tutoring journey than the other. Let's unpack each option and assess which one is the right fit for you. Factor 1, time management and flexibility. The first key factor in which option is best for you is how you'd actually like to manage your time. Solo tutoring has increased flexibility because it enables you to be completely in charge of your own schedule without needing to factor in the timetable of anyone other than your students. The advantage of this is that you can determine for yourself exactly when you're able to work on your business. On the other hand, if you decide to expand and hire others, this means that you'll need to manage the time of those on your team. Something to be mindful of here is that this will limit the extent to which you can independently designate when you work, because other schedules need to be factored into this decision. However, a key advantage of having a tutoring team when we're thinking about time management is that you'll actually be able to designate tasks to others, which will free up your own time, unlike if you decide on solo tutoring. The bottom line here is to think about how you would manage your time and map out how each option will affect this. Personally, after a few years of tutoring solo, I found that the demand for my tutoring services actually surpassed the amount of time I had available. This led me to the decision of hiring my first tutor, which actually grew the number of hours that I could tutor, except that this time it wasn't just me tutoring, I was sharing my workload with somebody else. Number 2 is your finances and scaling your business. So to pivot away from the pros and cons of each option and how they impact your workload, let's now consider what they involve financially. Being a solo tutor is more straightforward because you don't have anyone on the books. This means that your income is calculated from the hours you work rather than the finance side of your business being scaffolded like it would be if you were to hire tutors. What I mean by this is that hiring tutors is more complicated than tutoring solo, because for each hour worked by a tutor, a portion of the earnings goes to them and whatever's left is funneled back to you and the business. Generally speaking, your financial responsibilities are more complex once you start hiring tutors because you have to set up systems for not only students to pay, but also for your hires to invoice you and for you to invoice them. This means that money is actually going in 3 directions, from the student to the business to the tutor, rather than just directly from the student to the business as it would be the case in a solo tutoring arrangement. In saying this, however, hiring tutors has the potential for you to grow your revenue for your business because you have a larger workforce. This is a great way to scale your business, especially if you have high demand for your services. So if you're looking to build your business, then shifting from solo tutoring to hiring tutors can be a great way to explore untapped potential. So hopefully this video has given you more insight on the key differences between being a solo tutor versus being a tutor with a team. At the end of the day, both have real advantages, but it really just depends on where you are at in your journey right now. If you've enjoyed what I've said here and you'd like to learn more from me, then I highly recommend you check out my masterclass, the 3-step framework to building a 6-figure tutoring career, so that you can accelerate your tutoring business and eventually maybe become a tutoring business owner like me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for next week's video, so subscribe, where I'll be doing a deep dive of exactly how you can establish and enforce your boundaries as a tutor, which means that you respect your time and your students respect your time too. Because if there's anything that is finite in this world, it's our time. And so us going from solo tutor to a tutoring business owner, that requires time, and I want to make sure that you're somebody who looks after your time wisely. See you guys next week. Bye!